Hello everybody, welcome back to our virtual Teen Tuesday challenges. My name is Beth, I am the Teen Services Coordinator at the Baraboo Public Library. If you've kept up to this week, we're on week 3. We've done sidewalk chalk challenges, we've made hilarious cupcakes. If you've had a chance to do any of that at home, I'd love to hear about it. I've gotten some really good feedback about our first challenges, so if you're having fun, I'd love to hear about it, The library is open. Come on in, say hi. I'd love to see you. We'd love to have some more visitors. So the library is open. All services are back to almost normal. Delivery is still a little delayed, but otherwise, come on in and use the library. We'd love to see you. A few other things, we do have our virtual challenges every week, and then we do have virtual gaming on Tuesdays. If you'd like to be registered for that, just give me a call at the library, or you can email me at beth@baraboopubliclibrary.org. I'd love to set that up. It would be a lot of fun to do virtual gaming with Jackbox games or Oregon Trail or anything else you can think of. I can figure out how to do it online so we can play some games on Tuesdays together. And we do have some really fun creativity challenges, and on Fridays we also have book clubs. So if you are interested in any of those activities, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you more about them. You can stop in, we can chat over the phone or via email, and I can give you more information. And all of that is also in a pamphlet on our website for you to look at your convenience. So today is, like I said, week 3. We're going to be doing some origami. Now before this week, I was terrible. I mean, as you can probably guess, if you watched last week, you would know that, like cake decorating, I am not an origami master. And up until this week, the paper crane has totally flummoxed me. So I have had some real fun this week learning how to make paper cranes so that I can show you how to make my version of a paper crane. We did have some hilarious attempts here. This guy, he's a little chonky boy there. Some of them don't stand up quite right. I don't know what's wrong with this one. So he's not going to fly anytime soon. So it's been really fun learning how to make paper cranes so that I can show you how to do it. And hopefully I get it right. So to make our paper crane, we are going to, first off, we need a square. So we're going to kind of just fold this paper like this, because if you do this and cut along this edge here, you have a square. So if you don't have origami paper at home, you can just kind of cut this here like this. So along that fold there, and you will have a square. So the first fold we're going to do is that triangle. We're going to just really crease it well, because the stronger your creases are, the easier it's going to be for you later on. So that's our first fold. The second fold we're going to do is you're going to bring this corner down here. So you have a second triangle. And that first crease we made is right there. So if you open up your paper, you should have an X. And again, you just really want to make those creases good and strong. And then we're going to fold it over hot dog style, as they call it. Though it's a square, so I don't know if that still applies, but that's fine. And we're going to fold it over one more time. Okay, so when you open your paper, you should have what kind of looks like a star, creases on all corners there. Okay, we're going to take these points here and bring it down to this point here. So we're going to take it so that it's like, that's the first fold, and that is the second fold. So when you're done with that fold, you should have a square. When you open it up, it should look like this. So that is that fold. That's the trickiest fold, one of the trickiest folds for me to figure out. So this next part, we're going to take the corner here and we're going to bring it to the middle here, so that you have 2 triangles on either side of this main line on your square. And we're just doing the one side so that on the other side of our square, it's still open. So you have something like this. So we brought these ones in this way, and that's the other side of your square. And then we're going to take both corners of the square and fold it down to the middle, like that. So this is one side. This is what the other side looks like so far. Now this is a weird thing because we're going to open this and unfold it all the way. So we unfolded it, and we're going to take this corner and we're going to hold this down, and we are just going to kind of open it up to make a frog's mouth like that. And you're going to push both corners down to the middle. So that's what it should look like on this side, on the top side. If you flip it over, it looks like this. This is that triangle that we flipped over. It's going to stay closed. And then we have our square on the other side, and we just did this part. Now if we flip it over, we're going to do the exact same thing. So we have this square. We're going to take the corners of the square, just like we did on the other side. Kind of crease it there. Okay. And we still have this triangle because we didn't unfold it, and that's just going to go right back over that triangle we just made. So we have this on one side, which we already did, and now we have this side. Now we're going to unfold this again, and we're going to leave this folded again, and we're just going to hold it down, and we're going to open this up to make our frog's mouth one more time. The good thing about the crane is that it's all symmetry. So if you do things on one side, you just have to flip it over and do it again. You want these middle lines that you're folding to be as close to the middle crease as possible. So when you're done with this fold, you should have something that looks like this on one side, this on the other side, and that is from the top. Okay? Now we're going to do what they call a book fold. We're going to take 1/2 of our crane here, and we're going to fold it over. If it's not going over easily, you can just recrease it, and it should work a little bit better. Okay. And if things don't match up perfectly, that's just fine. It should work the same way. It may not be perfect, but that's all right. So little in life is. And we're going to flip it over again, and we're going to flip over this side this way. So now we have what they call a wolf head. His little ears, and there's his nose. So this is the one side we just folded over, and that is the other. So it should look the same on both sides. So this fold is a little tricky too because the paper is a little thicker now, so you have to kind of really have to force it, but we're going to do another triangle. So we're going to bring this point here right to the middle. So it's going to look like a long skinny kite. And you can see our crane is starting to take shape a little bit here. Okay. Like I said, the paper is getting a little thicker, so it's a little harder to manipulate. There we go. Okay, so that is one side, and again, we're just going to flip it over and do the same thing. So we're going to take this corner and bring it right over here. We're going to do it again on this side. So there we go. So that's one side of our crane, and we flip it over, and there it is. So now we are going to take this first wing here, and we're just going to fold it up. And at a certain point, your paper won't let you fold it up anymore, and that's the point that you're going to fold it up to, because as you can see, we kind of have our floor down here. So we're going to do that on one side, and again on the other side. And we're almost there. You can see our crane is starting to take shape. And we're going to do that book fold one more time. So we're going to take this side over here and just flip it. We're going to turn it all the way over and take this side over here and flip it. Okay, so now we have this crane. And so we have our little points here, and one of them is going to be the head, and one of them is going to be the tail. So you just we're going to just kind of push them out. And this can be a little tricky too. You just kind of want to bring them out enough so that there's some little space, and you can push it down on the bottom so that it creates a kind of a little base for the crane here on the bottom. And then pick your favorite side, and that is going to be the head. Either one, it doesn't matter. All right, so we're almost there. The last thing to do is fold the wings over, and you want to do it so you see this little crane body here. So there's one side. Flip it over again, and we have the second side. And then we're going to take our little crane and fluff him out. And hopefully he will stand on his own. Let's see. There you go. That is how you make a paper crane. Okay, so that was how you make a paper crane. So now we have little Stevie to add to the paper crane family of cranes. They're a happy bunch, these cranes. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show you is much easier, and it's pure nostalgia for me, and it's the only thing I know how to make that I didn't have to look up how to make because I made it a million times when I was younger and drove my teachers crazy making this. We're going to make what I used to call a cootie catcher. Okay, so the first step, again, you need a square piece of paper. So we're just going to fold it over here. The trick is if you can line up this side with the other side, it should just form a nice square when you cut it. That did not work. Hang on, let me realign the paper here. There we go. Okay, so you just want to make sure, again, those creases are nice. This is a really great beginner project. It's very, very easy, and it doesn't matter as much if your creases aren't lined up the right way. So this, plus it's really kind of fun to make this and then ask people a bunch of silly questions. So again, there's our one side, pointed. This is towards me is this way, that's towards you over there. And then again, we're going to make another triangle. Just going to line up those corners. Okay, so there we have a square with an X on it. And now we're just going to take our corners and bring them to the middle for each side. And again, if they don't line up all the way, that's just fine. It'll work just the same. Okay, so now we've made a square out of our X fold. Now we're going to flip it over so that we see the X on the other side, and we're going to do it one more time. So we're going to bring this corner to the middle on each side. And we're almost done. All we have to do next is just fold it in half one way. And then you open it up and you fold it in half the other way. And that's just kind of to reinforce your creases. And you have a fortune teller. So when you hold it, you can kind of do all fun things. And so now I'm going to show you how we used to fill out the fortune teller. So on each corner, I have one of my very favorite pens. This is a Jelly Roll pen, which is the best pen. So we're just going to number these 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to, on each side, you're going to write a color. So here we'll do red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink, and we haven't used black yet, so we'll do black. Okay, so now each one has a different color. And then on each side, inside, you're going to write a fortune, and the sillier the better. So I'm not going to show you what these are because we're going to have my friend Megan do the fortune, and we'll see what she chooses as her fortune. Okay, so joining me is special guest Megan from upstairs. She made a glamorous appearance last week and has very kindly agreed to try out our fortune teller this week. So Megan, are you ready to have your fortune told?
I'm ready.
All right, so you have to pick a number.
Okay, let's go number 3.
Number 3. So we do 1, 2, 3, and then you pick a color.
Blue.
Blue. So we do B, L, U, E, and pick another color.
Red.
Red. All right, so here is Megan's fortune.
Oh boy, I'm excited.
Your pop album will top all the charts.
Ooh.
Did you know you were going to be a pop star?
I didn't. That's interesting.
Well, I'm super excited to buy your
Oh,
first
thank
CD.
you.
So This is Megan, future pop star, everybody.
Nice to meet you. Hello.
Thank you for joining us, Megan.
It's been fun.
And we will see you next week for our virtual Teen Tuesday Challenge.